Alright, hello and welcome to another YOGUs. So, today we're going to be talking about the Zenistar. So, this is the 300-day login reward, and this weapon is absolutely phenomenal. But not in just that it is just a good weapon, and it is pretty decent for just doing, like, normal heavy weapon things. Like, you can Cleaving Whirlwind with this, and that's fine. The great thing about this weapon is that it is super unique, and is actually still really useful, even so. So, the charge attack on this thing throws out the disc in the center of it. Throws at a set distance, and then turns on. So, this is pure elemental damage, high status. It is very strong. It's affected by Prime Reach, as you're seeing here. It has a large area, and does pretty significant damage, even considering. In the top right, you can see the timer for it. It lasts 45 seconds when you throw it out, and by doing another charge attack, you can call it back and throw it out again. This does not just affect the only single plane that you're seeing here. It is above and below it as well, which means this thing is pretty damn powerful. Also, it can headshot because it will proc Arcane Victory and such for you. So if you have that Arcane, it's incredibly powerful in conjunction. So, this weapon is real nuts. And there's actually a couple different builds I need to show off, and some interactions with this weapon that are pretty important, because there's quite a few different ways to use this thing. So, first we have this. This is the build that I put together to complete this test, basically. Life Strike is incredibly useful. It also doesn't cost you energy whenever the AoE is doing the health steal for you. So it costs you no energy to heal whenever you throw out your disc, which is fucking absolutely outstanding. And oop, I didn't do the thing I meant to do, which is just bump this up to the max life strike. Because it doesn't cost you any energy, you just use it like this. Beyond that, obviously Prime Reach is kind of just a must on this weapon because it is just pure benefit in every possible way. I formed this thing out 3 times because it's a really cool weapon that I'm going to get a lot of use out of. And it is just kind of a basic build here, no body count, because you don't really need that. Cleaving Whirlwind is totally fine for this. You're doing plenty of damage because you've got actually significant damage. It's worth noting while your disc is out, this turns into an IPS weapon, so there's that. And then Prime Fury for a little bit of a speed up, because this weapon obviously has 5% critical chance, so Berserker's not really a thing I'm going to rely on. But yeah, that's the build for this basic test here that we just normally always do. So let's get started. Throw the disc out front, because enemies will stack up in the middle. As you can see, even with this being switched to just IPS, this is totally fine. And if I get damaged, I will start channeling. You can see there's enemies up in that AoE. Heals me to full right quick, which is very useful. Also, because I have this set to be corrosive damage, it's shredding the armor of enemies that are up here. So as you can see, they have basically no EHP whatsoever, because I ate all of their armor. And of course this thing's damage just in general is still pretty good. But yeah, that's just some basic uses of Zenistar. Now let's show some combos. Now one of the things here is that you can throw this out and also use exalted stuff. So I can just toss this out, activate it, and then also use Exalted Blade, which is real fucking important because, dude, what the hell? That's a really strong combo to be able to have this AoE, put Blast on it, let's say, and just have an area where that's crowd controlled that you don't have to focus on, and you can just wipe up every once in a while with your Exalted Blade, and then focus up top here, maybe an example area where enemies can't really come up behind you if you have this thing on Blast, and then you're just murdering up here, and you can't be flanked. Really strong combination, turns out. But yeah, that's one way to use this, because it has a really cool interaction with Exalteds. Beyond that, there's an interaction with blinds. Also, this one right here, this is my blast build for anyone interested. This just kicks out a lot of blast, obviously. Status mods, all that stuff. This is a gas cold build. So this is what I use for the general just put this down and do damage with it, because there's a really interesting interaction between blind and this specific build. So we're gonna show it off just a little bit. And we're not going to show it with this group. Let's do 8 of these guys. That should be pretty solid. Hopefully they all just stay at least somewhat together. And we blind. When you blind enemies, this does massive damage. And you know what? Here, actually, I will, I'll throw this out and then go spawn them, so that you can just see the immediate difference between them blinded and not blinded. So you see they're constantly taking very low damage. Well, not very low. Decent. And then that happens. So if you blind enemies and you have this, things start going a little nuts. Because the Zenistar is a very interesting weapon. It's also worth noting that if you're one of the people that uses Matter-Eye, if you use Matter-Eye with this weapon and throw the disc out, you can make this, instead of being pure elemental, do slash puncture and impact damage. Which, this thing doing a shit ton of slash procs, it's pretty solid. Yeah. The Zenistar is a fucking amazing weapon, and it's super unique. And it fits into, like, a place that is not... Like, there's no weapon that is where this thing is. That is, like, a turret, kind of. That actually can do its job in, like, a functional way. Like, the Azuma is not even close to this, which is the other log and reward weapon that is kind of this similar design. This thing is fucking really cool. I think this is probably my favorite weapon, like, added this year, period. It is outstanding. And that's the Zenistar. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. This thing's fucking great.